Hey everyone, I'm Jen. I met this young man. I don't know what his time, but when I met him, I believe we are all energies, and our translation of energies is what we see. And I saw him. He was and is a huge, as the sun comes out, a huge angelic creature. Gracing us. I hope you can hear me. Gracing us with a part of him being here in human form. And sorry, I'm gonna put my drink down. He's huge. His essence and presence is huge, and I'm so honored to be in his presence. I spoke with him last time. I was prompted to, and I said, I see you. I know who you are. And he keeps thanking me. But he said that he's been in a cocoon this whole time. Sorry, you're getting a close-up, but I need you to hear me. Sorry about the running hose. But he explained that he had been as if in a cocoon this whole time, and he's just woken up, and has this, I don't know if he used the word urgency, but this urge to speak now to everybody, to help remind everybody. Hold on, there's a ball that's coming down the parking lot. But he has this to help people remember who they are. And I feel like that's why many of us experience the Mandela effect. Here's the ball. I'm gonna return it to the children. Red rubber ball. My pleasure. Thank you. So, he and I, God, he just gets it. He gets it. Anyhow, after that last visit, he listened to, he was starting to say some things, and I'm like, I know. And both of us were just kind of doing this dance. Me sharing my Mandela effect experience and the other woo-woo stuff that I experienced, and it's like neither of us had to explain. Neither of us had to, it's like we got it. He gets it. Oh my gosh. He gets it. And so, and he said that he's, he knows he's ready to speak to people. So I attended this, this is his first time he's speaking to people. Hey, a pretty simple life. I see you in me. That's the biggest compliment, by the way. He just gave an amazing speech, and he was describing and trying to help relay the message, how we have all these different parts of us, And if we could just return to being our self. And that's what I'm a witness to, you know, as I bounce around from place to place. I'm just saying that metaphorically. I think we're always in the same one space here now. It's just I have a visual of which costume people are wearing, and certain costumes also bring along certain props and stages. You know, certain people will experience certain weather depending on their state of being. It just goes on and on. And he, okay, this whole service, by the way, was in Spanish, which is not my primary language, nor, it's just I used to live in Spain, so I'm able to communicate and understand a little bit. But one person asked, well, how can, she asked a question, so I'm not going to repeat it because it's just my interpretation of what it is. And he says, well, do you want to integrate it or throw it out? And that's what I've been going through, is I've been gathering all my different pieces, parts, as I'm going through all these realities, worlds. And it's not about, I thought this car was going to run into another car. It's not about, I mean, I notice. We notice our surroundings. It's not just about the quote changes. It's also about looking at our own self and our own selves, plural. And he answered the question, you know, because people, for the most part, I'm comfortable being me, you know, and expressing expressing myself as it's happening. So then the proper Jen later looks at, like, why were you crying? It's because I felt like crying at the time. And then certain times I feel like being proper. Certain times I feel like limiting what I share with people. It's just, I am who I am for the most part at every here now, as I am. And part of his answer was, you know, do you want to integrate it or do you want to sacarlo? I think means, you know, trash it. And I'm pretty much welcoming every part of me. And it's messy. But as we walk this infinite loop, that's a maze, a complex maze, you start realizing you're in some repetitive parts of the loop. I think most people do not realize it. And that's part of what I'm seeing now. Yes, I've talked about how I've revisited live streams live each time. So that to me was proof that I was looping. There are other times where it's not documented like that. So I can't prove it. But every time you have welcomed another part of you and made it okay for them to be here as part of your whole, not trying to hide it, because, you know, some parts of me are bitchy, some parts of me are judgmental, but then the next time I loop around, I can fine-tune that. Is that a quality that I want to have as a dominant one? Sometimes it's useful to have those perceived negative qualities. And another part of her, his message in response to that lady was, he says, are you your 10-year-old self now? And part of me seeing the various versions of you in your current avatar, a la Mandela effect, what I've also been seeing has it been 2 years now? I don't know. Is I'm seeing people morph into their different ages. So I've learned to not talk about it because then it shuts them up. It stops their flow of being. And it gives me insight. This is the hurt 10-year-old that's responding to a, whatever age you are now, issue that's come up again. And it's a lovely way, because sometimes you are your 10-year-old self again. So do you integrate the 10-year-old or do you trash it? Well, every time you postpone the integration, that hurt 10-year-old is forever going to have a separate reality that you also, as the incorporated you, is going to end up experiencing. And when you choose to integrate and welcome all the yucky, messy feelings, it's a homecoming. It's a homecoming. You know how we have the urge to want to come home? It's just a matter of you proactively finding all your pieces parts and welcoming them all, even the perceived ugly ones. Because, yeah, that's you too. Why were they, quote, ugly? Because they pop up and they want to avoid by eating carbs. Margarita Jen definitely wants to avoid or numb by drinking margaritas and sangria. She pops up only once in a while, but the avoidance Jen was top dog, probably the longest. The chameleon, because the chameleon avoids being itself. It keeps adapting to its surroundings, whether it wants to or not. It just feels safer that way. I hope you can hear me. This man gets it. And when I first met him, he's just a person who's all antsy in his churchy chair. And I know other people just, maybe me too, thinking, don't you know you're supposed to behave in church? And then I realized, no. That's old thinking. That's still currently in use. And he's too big for his body. And during meditation, I did not know he moved from the row in front of me off to my right. During meditation, this is the first time I met him, I heard this like huge breath on the back of my neck. And I knew it was a spirit. I don't know the words to use, nouns to use. But so I look behind me, open my eyes and look behind me, and it's him. He had moved from the row in front of me, but he was all the way in the back corner. As antsy as he was during the humanified presentation of his message today, he lives it. And during meditation, he's all with himself. And whatever word you want to use for source, God, universe. He was so far away, but his presence again was so huge that he was everywhere. And we are everywhere. It's just we tether ourselves to a certain timeline body. Now I get it. Now I get it. So people, every time you write your name, write your social security number, or tell your past history story, you keep tethering yourself to someone else's timeline, or the one that you keep repeating yourself, when really we are all names. There is no number that can define us, because we are different matrix numbers, I guess, binary numbers that make us up in the various realities that I'm seeing you in. So as the lotus blossom keeps unfolding, like the infinite rows of shark teeth that keep growing, each tooth is still different. It cannot be defined. The front row cannot be defined by the back row. Oh my gosh. I'm observing me receiving information, and it sounds ridiculous. Anyhow, this man gets it. He does not see the Mandela effect, but he's speaking it. And to ground oneself in one reality, that is the message. We are a red rubber ball. We can bounce wherever we want to. We just have not been given permission to do so, or the messages that we're not supposed to. We even forgot that we're allowed to. We must remember that that's what we're supposed to do here. Be our own red rubber ball. I love you guys. This was a good follow-up to yesterday's lesson of cognitive dissonance. I love you all.